Salutations, my friends. Hello, my name is Maria. This is Love, Pray, Paint. And today I thought we would do kind of a fun video. I thought I would show you my home art studio space. I don't really call it a studio, it's just kind of the place where I do art because it's not my own separate space. I share it with my husband and my kids are down here a lot of the time when I'm painting. It's kind of a, what do you call it, like a rompus room, I guess. Is that what they call it? I don't know. I threw everything in my basement because it has no home room. Yes, I just reorganized everything, so I thought this was the perfect time to kind of show you guys my workspace and how I organize things. I love watching these like art studio tours. I'm like so, nosy that I love to see like how other people organize, or how they organize their brushes, how they keep their canvases. My collection isn't as big as other people's because not that I'm a millennial. I'm not a millennial. I missed it by 1 year. I'm just kidding. Not that I'm a minimalist, but in a way I kind of have that sort of attitude where if I don't love it and I know I'm not going to use it, I will not buy it. Like, I'm not going to go buy a giant paint set or colors that I know I'm not going to use. If I want a certain color for a certain type of painting I'm going to make, I will go out and buy it. Or if I run out of a color I use regularly, I'll go and buy it. I do have a lot of paintbrushes, but that's only because to find what kind of brush that you love and that you use, you'll buy a few of them. And at the beginning of my painting, I used to buy just like those bags of craft paintbrushes, like the big giant bundles that you get for like $5. And then I slowly realized that, those things just fall apart in a month. Some of them don't. I have had one for quite a few years. Anyway, I don't know why I'm jabbering on. Just if you're interested, please just keep watching. If you want to see more videos and hang out with me, you can subscribe to my channel. Also, please like this video. It really helps me out. The more likes I get, the more my video can get shared. I am so excited to be at 400 subscribers. Thank you everybody who has subscribed to my channel. It's so awesome. I'm so excited. I really am. I could actually cry about it because I'm super sensitive and I cry over everything. I don't know why. I'm just chatty. I'm just chatting everywhere. And this is not going to make any sense. So before I keep talking for an hour straight, let's start the tour. To start off down here, this is underneath a little folding table I just got from Target. This is where I keep like my bigger canvases, the ones that I either sold and are going to a new home, or the ones that I am just currently working on or fixing up. This one right here, I just added, this was from one of my tutorials. I can link the video down below. I actually redid the flowers because I wasn't that happy with them, the sunflowers, and I added this beautiful little quote that says, "Where flowers bloom, so does hope." I thought that was so sweet. I'm keeping that one for myself because I really like it. This one I'm probably going to sell just because I don't really have a spot for it. I do love it, and maybe I'll keep it. I'm not really sure. And these ones, I made multiple copies of them, and I've sold quite a few of them. And these were the ones that I was keeping for myself that I made of these Galaxy Goddesses. I think I sold 3 of this one and 3 of this one, and then I have another one or another couple that I gifted to somebody. And I just added these cute little words down here because I thought it was like such a blank space. And since these are mine, I thought it was fine to do that. It says dreamer and stargazer, idealist, just a couple little things. And then this one right here, I added words, but I added too many words. I went a little crazy. It says gypsy, wanderer, vagabond, just a lot of synonyms for the same thing. So those are the ones that are either going to a new home or that I'm working on. And under here is where I store my like ones that I want to hang for my own house or that I have to frame. And a lot of this stuff is just like old ones that I just am storing because I don't know what to do with them. And then I have a little easel down there. When we go to the back of the store. Right here I have a sewing machine because I also love to sew. Right here, this is my sewing basket where I have fabric and all sorts of stuff like that. Keep like my pins and like snaps and just all sorts of stuff in there. This bin houses, I have like some cards because I like to do like handmade cards. I paint them, or like thank you cards or Christmas cards or birthday cards. And then I have little miniature canvases in here that I'm going to use. I have scissors. I have a color wheel, painter's tape or masking tape, whatever you want to call it. And then I have a whole bunch of erasers and more tape, pencil sharpeners, and then I have like, it's kind of just shoved in here. And then these are stencils, and this is tracing paper for when, a great tip is like when you are doing, when you're doing portraits or anything you need a really accurate, you need to be really accurate on, print off a picture of the person and then trace their face through the tracing paper. And then what you can do, I know this seems like it's cheating, but it's not, because you still have to paint the light values. It's just, you know, you're going to do it with a pencil. And then you can take this, this paper right here. It's graphite paper. And you take a stencil, or you can just use a pencil, and you go over what you traced off their picture right onto the canvas, so then you'll have perfect dimensions for the face or animal or whatever you're doing. Just a little tip. Oh yeah, and I obviously have a little ruler there. This right here is a mixed media paper that I do most of my stuff on now, just because for videos at least, unless I get like commissioned a piece, which I have 2 up and coming that I'll do videos on, that I'm going to do a couple Minnesota landscapes for someone, and they're going to be big paintings, so it's going to be super cool. And these are just extra frames I have, Dollar Tree frames that I'm going to fill. They're just sitting there for now because I didn't have anywhere else to put them. And then this is some of my paint. I got this for Christmas from my sister-in-law and my brother-in-law. They're Liquitex Basics. It's so funny that they got this brand and they had no idea that I actually use this brand. So I have all these different colors to play with, which is so cool. Most of them are dried out though, and I don't want to sound like I'm complaining because it was a gift. But I think the store kept this around too long, which is really sad. I mean, I know how to thin mine out. So if you do have a problem with dry paint, instead of just using water, use, if it's super dried out, don't use gesso. I almost pulled out the gesso. Pull out this gel gloss medium, and you can mix that in there, and it'll still be a little bit chunky, but and if you don't want to spend so much money on that, take an acrylic craft paint or an easy flow paint and mix it with that. Usually titanium white's the best. And it will thin it out and get rid of those chunks. And right here is where I keep my little daubers, a lamp. I use these for filming and just for doing art. And then this is all of my paint and like my gesso and all of that stuff. And this right here is actually an old shower. Like I used to have this hanging in my shower and I spray painted it. And I thought, would this be awesome for like a shelf to hold paint and stuff? And I was right, it is. And then I usually house like most of my brushes on the top, and then I have paper towels and some gesso and some Mod Podge and some more paint. Right there is like an old palette that I was using, and I thought it looked so cool, so I hung it on the wall. Up here I just have some decorations. This is actually the first painting I ever did, like probably 10 years ago, and this is in Italian. I can't even remember what the heck it says. I actually grew up speaking Italian. Anyway, my grandma was from Sicily, and it's very special to me, and I don't remember how to speak Italian anymore. I have no idea. Most of the stuff, if I hear people talking, I can kind of decipher what they're saying, but I can't really speak it, not very well at least. And then this is a gift my sister got me. It's a book all full of Audrey Hepburn pictures. She is like one of my favorite people ever. And then there's my Minnesota, like it holds beer caps, but I don't drink beer, so there's only one in there. I don't really drink at all, and that's my home state, Minnesota, that I'm still currently in. And then right here, I have a watercolor pan. It's like, I bought it from like Five Below or something when I was just, what is this brand, Royal? And then this right here, this is actually what do you call them? It's like an architect desk. It can actually lift up and turn into an easel. You've seen this bad boy in a lot of my tutorials. I actually got this as it was like a hand-me-down. I used to clean houses, and the person's house that I was cleaning, they said they were like, we're getting rid of it, so they were giving it to my kids, but my kids really don't do enough art, and I'm very small. I'm like only maybe 5'5" at the most. So I'm pretty much the size of a child, so this this actually worked out good for me. And then right here I have some watercolor pencils and watercolor brushes. Like you could put the water in there and you just squeeze them and it disperses the water for you. Those are great when you're working with the pencils. And then I kept the top so I know what the colors are, because it doesn't actually say the name on the physical pencil. And then this is all of my like sketching stuff. I have like charcoal in there, and then I use when I blend stuff, I use old like makeup brushes to get a really smooth finish and a blended appearance. So these are all charcoal and graphite pencils, and then I use like these a lot, Sharpie, like the really thin pens, and then I have like just some other artists. This is a water soluble, I think, artist pen. Anyway, so I have a lot of those, and then right here I keep all of the brushes that I use the most in these little mason jars down here, just so that they're easy to grab. And I have my palette knives and my little toothbrushes I like to do my galaxy paintings with. And then right here are some of my acrylic paint markers. This is the one that, these are the ones that I use the most, as you can tell. And I just found this, my friend gave this to me. She got it in Japan. She's Japanese, obviously. Anyway, I've had it for years. I've had it since I was in high school. Anyway, I love that. I just kind of leave it there. I'm not going to really use it for anything. I just leave it there because it makes me happy. And then I have like a couple of clips here. I use these sometimes when I have to clip like a canvas down so it doesn't move around. And then I have some little glitters here. I don't really know what the heck I'm going to do with those, but they're there. And in these drawers right here, this is what I'm using for my garbage currently, which is so lame. I just have some old, I think these are old prints. Oh, this is more art that I'm never going to frame. It's just stuff that I was experimenting. And these are just prints that I have like in my house that I frame and will put up. And what's under here? I think this is empty. So that's what I just keep those. And then right here in this drawer, I just have a bunch of notebooks. And then this right here is a keyboard book for scales, because you'll find out in a minute why I have this. My husband gave it to me. And this is where I just like write down ideas for videos and stuff. This was my daughter's, but I stole it and I use it for writing stuff down. The rest of those two is just old notebooks that I can use to write ideas down for videos and for God knows what else. My mind is always very active, which is good. But and then over here is where I edit videos and where my kids play video games. And this is actually, look how funny this is. It's like the spell book from the Halloween tutorial I did. I gave it to my son last night because he wanted it. I took it off the painting and I gave it to him. Or yeah, it's from Hocus Pocus, the Book of Spells. Isn't that so cute? Look at how tiny it is. I made this out of cardboard and just paper and paint and Mod Podge and all sorts of stuff. And this is the mic that my husband bought me that I use for recording. And then this is my computer and these speakers. My husband gave me his old speakers because he actually makes a lot of music, and so do I. Maybe I can show you a couple of my songs. They're not good, but I use FL Studio. But my kids put that, just so you know, my kids put that Roblox on there. I do not play Roblox, if you're wondering. Let me see. Maria's beats. Here's a trap beat I made. If it'll play, maybe. So this was one of the first beats I made, and I've been doing that for like a year, probably. Maybe almost a year. We should probably turn that off though, because otherwise it'll keep playing. So we'll shut that off. Let me see. I'll just play another one. I don't want to play too many. So then another one I did. I don't know why this isn't focusing. It's like completely out of focus. This is the program I use. It's called FL Studio. And what the hell? Somebody was on this and it looks all funky. Anyway, this is the program I use. And so that's why I had that chord book, because this is, my husband bought me this. It's a little MIDI controller that I use to like play, to make those beats that I put a lot of them in my video. I don't really tell people that. This is where my kids do their art, so they have all of their crafting supplies, and the stuff that I don't want goes here to die. So any supplies that I don't want, I just give to them, like markers. And these were, I was really into colored pencils for a while, so these were like mostly all my old colored pencils. So they get some pretty fancy stuff sometimes, and like sketchbooks. And my daughter does make a lot of art. She's a pretty good artist herself in her own right. She's pretty young and she does a phenomenal job. I wish I would have found my artistic gift then. This is my husband's, like where he does gaming and he makes beats, he produces music. He also, we used to make a lot of like indie sort of rock garage. And if I can find some of our old music, I usually write and sing, and and then he obviously records and does all of like the music stuff. We used to have drums down here. He also plays guitar and I play the drums, and he also plays the drums. So this is just a bunch of equipment back there and guitars. And we used to both skateboard, so there's a bunch of old skateboard decks. And he loves Binding of Isaac, or used to. This is a whole wall filled with vinyl. We have way more out in our garage as well. We have so much records. Is a painting I did. My sister-in-law made this clock for him. Isn't that cool? It says Nate's Beats. That's his producer name. I don't know why I'm showing his stuff, but I figure I might as well show my whole basement. And then this is Audrey painting that I made, and then there I put this up last night just to see if he'd notice. It's the Hocus Pocus. It's kind of funny. And then that's Audrey that I did a flow painting. This is Pizza Steve that my daughter drew. And this is where all of our office chairs go to die. This is our office chair graveyard. My husband will not get a couch, nor will he get rid of these, because he obviously, look at this, he refuses to get rid of anything at all. It's so funny to try to get him to buy new stuff. Oh, and then this painting here is actually a painting by a local artist that we found at a garage sale who was like best friends with Prince, and we've kept it all of these years. So if you're out there, I revarnished this for you, and we're keeping good care of it. And then here's some more records and a bunch of crap of my husband's. He's not very cleanly. That is the space that I work in and do all of my creating. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this little tour of our creative space. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give me a like if you liked it. I guess a thumbs up. I don't know what I'm talking about. And thank you for hanging out with me. Have an awesome day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.